Why intelligent people feel alone in a world that rewards stupidity. In many societies today, individuals who value deep thinking, curiosity, and intellectual integrity feel a persistent frustration. These individuals often perceive a striking paradox. Despite the clear benefits of intelligence, careful reasoning, and thoughtful discourse, society frequently rewards their opposites. Loudness is favored over nuance, bravado over accuracy, and popularity over truth. As a result, many perceptive people report feeling isolated, misunderstood, and even alienated. This raises a crucial philosophical question. Why do intelligent people often feel alone in a world that appears to reward ignorance? To understand this phenomenon, we must explore several interconnected ideas. How society defines intelligence, how social systems reward behavior, the psychology of belonging, and the uncomfortable reality that truth and popularity rarely go hand in hand. The misunderstood nature of intelligence. A key issue lies in how intelligence is defined. Intelligence is not simply memorizing facts or excelling on academic tests. Authentic intelligence demands critical thinking, challenging assumptions, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. It means discerning complexity where others see only simplicity. Yet societies typically reward quick fixes to complex problems. Nuanced explanations require patience and time, while easy answers are swift, emotionally gratifying, and effortless to convey. When intelligent individuals attempt to clarify complexities, they may be dismissed as overly analytical, negative, or arrogant. In contrast, people who express strong opinions with confidence, even when those opinions lack depth, often gain attention and influence. Confidence is socially persuasive, while careful doubt is often mistaken for weakness. For those who value accuracy over certainty, the resulting sense of being out of place can cut deep, leaving them quietly yearning for understanding in a world that rewards certainty over truth. The social economy of attention. Modern societies operate within an attention-driven economy. Visibility and influence rely less on intellectual substance and more on entertainment value, emotional resonance, or controversy. Ideas that are loud, dramatic, or simplified spread faster than ideas that are careful and evidence-based. In such an environment, thoughtful thinkers may find themselves overshadowed by individuals who speak more boldly but think less deeply. This does not necessarily mean society actively rewards stupidity. Rather, it rewards behaviors that are psychologically engaging. These behaviors often coincide with traits such as overconfidence, impulsivity, or simplistic thinking. Intelligent people, by comparison, often pause before speaking. They weigh multiple viewpoints and anticipate objections. They embrace uncertainty. Ironically, this intellectual humility can render them less visible in arenas that reward quick, confident responses. The result is a strange inversion. The most thoughtful voices are often the quietest, while the most simplistic voices are the most amplified. The burden of awareness. Another factor that intensifies loneliness is the emotional weight accompanying heightened awareness. With greater intellectual capacity often comes sharper, sometimes overwhelming, sensitivity to issues, paradoxes, and long-term consequences that others ignore. An intelligent person might notice systemic issues, logical inconsistencies, or ethical dilemmas that others overlook. While this awareness can lead to insight and innovation, it can also produce frustration. When someone sees problems clearly but observes that society ignores or trivializes them, a sense of isolation can emerge. This phenomenon is sometimes linked to philosophical pessimism. The more one understands the complexity of the world, the more difficult it becomes to maintain simple optimism. However, most social environments function more comfortably on shared optimism, simple narratives, and collective reassurance. When someone challenges these narratives with difficult truths, they risk being perceived as negative or disruptive. Often, intelligent people come to realize that silence is less painful than constantly challenging others' thinking. Over time, this self-restraint can grow into a deep and persistent loneliness. The loneliness of nonconformity. Humans are fundamentally social beings. We seek belonging, acceptance, and shared understanding. Yet many intelligent individuals develop thinking patterns that diverge from social norms. Critical thinking inherently involves questioning accepted beliefs. Yet social harmony often relies on people not probing too deeply. Communities sustain themselves through shared assumptions, traditions, and narratives. When someone consistently questions these assumptions, they may unintentionally disrupt group cohesion. Others may interpret this questioning as arrogance, hostility, or intellectual elitism. As a result, intelligent individuals sometimes face subtle social penalties. They may be excluded from conversations, labeled as overthinking, or dismissed as unnecessarily complicated. To preserve social harmony, many people prefer consensus over accuracy, but intelligent thinkers often prioritize truth over comfort. This difference in priorities can create a rift between them and the groups around them. Intellectual humility versus social confidence. An interesting paradox arises when comparing intelligent individuals with less thoughtful but more confident personalities. Research in psychology has shown something intriguing. People with limited knowledge sometimes overestimate their competence. Highly knowledgeable individuals often underestimate themselves. The more one learns, the more one becomes aware of how much remains unknown. This awareness produces intellectual humility. Intelligent people frequently speak in terms of probability, uncertainty, and complexity. Unfortunately, these qualities do not always translate well in social settings where confidence and clarity are valued. Meanwhile, individuals who possess strong confidence, regardless of accuracy, can appear more persuasive. They deliver bold claims, clear answers, and decisive opinions. In many social environments, decisiveness is rewarded more than correctness. Consequently, intelligent individuals may feel that their careful thinking is undervalued. The communication gap. Another factor contributing to intellectual loneliness is the communication gap between different levels of cognitive engagement. People naturally seek conversations that match their level of curiosity and depth. Someone who enjoys discussing philosophy, science, or abstract ideas may struggle to find conversational partners who share those interests. This does not mean others lack intelligence. Rather, their interests diverge. For someone whose curiosity is central to their identity, the scarcity of stimulating conversation can feel profoundly isolating. Many intelligent individuals describe a deep longing, not just for company, but for the rare and precious spark of true intellectual kinship. They yearn for someone with whom ideas flow freely, who sees and understands them at their most authentic and vulnerable. Without this bond, everyday conversations begin to feel hollow, repetitive, and emotionally barren, a gentle ache that reinforces the loneliness at the heart. Cultural attitudes toward thinking. In certain cultures, intellectualism is often regarded with distrust. Deep thinkers are sometimes labeled as impractical, overly theoretical, or disconnected from daily life. Societies often celebrate action over contemplation. Productivity, efficiency, and visible achievement are prioritized. Thinking, especially abstract thinking, can appear slow, unproductive, or unnecessary. Yet many fundamental advancements have emerged from deep, patient thought. Scientific revolutions, philosophical insights, and technological innovations often began with individuals who questioned entrenched assumptions for years. The difficulty is that these contributions are rarely recognized while the thinking is happening. Society tends to reward results. It rarely acknowledges the intellectual solitude that produced them. Thus, intelligent individuals may drift for long stretches feeling invisible, their ideas and even their hearts overlooked, waiting for the rare moment when someone finally sees their worth. Intelligence and emotional sensitivity. Another overlooked aspect of intelligence is its link to emotional acuity. Many intellectually curious people also demonstrate sharp emotional awareness. They discern nuances in social conduct, moral contradictions, and unspoken tensions. This sensitivity can deepen their understanding of human behavior, but it can also intensify feelings of alienation. When someone becomes aware of manipulation, dishonesty, or superficiality in social interactions, it becomes harder to engage in them without discomfort. At times, intelligent individuals feel as though they stand behind an invisible wall, watching social life unfold with a mix of longing and pain, observing rather than belonging, aching for connection that seems always out of reach. The myth that society rewards stupidity. Despite these experiences, it would be inaccurate to conclude that society truly rewards stupidity. Society often rewards simplicity, confidence, and emotional appeal. These qualities are not necessarily tied to intelligence or its absence. Some highly intelligent individuals are also excellent communicators who can simplify complex ideas without distorting them. However, the tension remains. Deep thinking requires time, nuance, and patience, while social systems frequently favor speed, clarity, and emotional resonance. This mismatch creates the perception that stupidity is rewarded, when in reality, certain communication styles are simply better suited to large-scale social environments. Finding intellectual community. Although intelligent individuals may sometimes feel isolated, they are rarely truly alone. Throughout history, thinkers have formed communities centered around shared curiosity and intellectual exploration. Philosophers gathered in ancient academies, scientists formed research communities, and writers created intellectual circles. Today, technology allows thinkers to connect across geographic boundaries through forums, publications, and collaborative projects. The challenge for many intelligent individuals is not the absence of similar minds, but finding the environments where those minds gather. Once such communities are found, the sense of isolation often diminishes dramatically. Embracing the responsibility of intelligence. Rather than viewing intelligence as a source of loneliness, it may be more productive to see it as a responsibility. Those who think deeply can clarify complex ideas, challenge harmful assumptions, and contribute to long-term progress. The role of intelligent individuals is not necessarily to dominate conversations, but to translate complexity into understanding. When thoughtful ideas are communicated with empathy and clarity, they can resonate with a broader audience. In this way, intelligence becomes not a barrier between people but a bridge. The feeling that intelligent people are alone in a world that rewards stupidity arises from several overlapping realities. Social systems that favor simplicity, differences in confidence, cultural attitudes toward intellectualism, and the natural human desire for belonging. Yet the situation is more nuanced than it first appears. Society does not inherently reward stupidity. It rewards communication styles and behaviors that capture attention and inspire emotional response. For intelligent individuals, the challenge is learning how to navigate these systems without abandoning their commitment to truth and complexity. Loneliness may arise from thinking differently, but history shows that progress often begins with those who are willing to question what others accept. In the end, intelligence is not meant to separate people from the world, but to help illuminate it. And while thoughtful minds may sometimes feel alone, they are also the ones most capable of guiding society toward deeper understanding.